Hello, I'm Chris, and I'm here today with Helaine Soller to talk about her career as an artist and her piece, Home Base, in the exhibition from the Women Caucuses of Arts, The Space Between, displayed at Alfa Art Gallery. Helaine, how are you doing today?
I'm just fine. Thanks, Chris. It's nice to be with you.
Nice to be with you too. So, with my first question that I had, why did you decide to become an artist? And what did you go through to get to where you are today? And how did your background influence your growth and development as an artist?
That's a lot of territory to cover.
Exactly. It's a very big question.
Well, I started painting in oil when I was 10 years old. I took lessons at a local art school, and those foundations really set my career. And I basically paint nature studies, people, environments in nature. And I think looking back on it, it was my influence from my grandfather was a horticulturist. Mm-hmm. My father taught me how to garden. And I grew up on a tree-lined street. So that kind of set what resounds within me today. Mm-hmm. I've traveled, and that also informs my art, and that's where I draw my inspiration.
How has COVID-19 and the ensuing lockdown influenced or changed your art in any way?
Well, it has kind of in many ways affected my work. I love to go to museums and art galleries and get inspired by what I see. It kind of feeds me as an artist. And now we're at lockdown, and it really, I adapted my home to have a 4 by 6 foot space as my home studio. Mm-hmm. I've been looking around me more, and I'm more sensitive to my surroundings, and thus the photograph that I submitted for this exhibit, it's called Home Base, really reflects what I've been going through, looking at nature during my walks or from my balcony. Also taking very limited walks to other areas that are relatively close to home. Mm-hmm. And it's really, I've developed a whole new series of work, 2 different aspects of it. One is the cloud studies that I've been doing. Okay. And also this downed trees. As I walk through my neighborhood, I've noticed that a lot of trees are being taken down due to different things during storms, or by invasive things like tree fungus, which from an artist's viewpoint is very beautiful and very interesting, but it's not so good for the trees. And then it also speaks of a cycle of life, of the life of a tree, and how it grows from earth and then it regenerates itself as it decays and becomes earth again. So it's kind of interesting time for me.
Much of your work gets inspired from art. So what specifically is it about nature that speaks to you and makes you want to create art about it?
Well, different aspects of it at different times. My travels to the West inspired me to create paintings based on new vistas, a new experience. It was very exhilarating. It played into, the basics of what we all work with, the dynamics of line, form, color, and changing light. And nature is ever changing, and yet it has a sense of tradition, of growth, of cycles of life. It connects with many cultural multicultural aspects of symbolism, as well as cultures that exist on the earth. So it all resounds, and I kind of feel that imagery coming through my art.
What do you think is specifically unique about your voice and your vision as an artist that separates you out from other people?
Well, I feel that my work, each one is a statement. It's almost like my handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
It's as individual as that. And I try to create a thought or something about nature that resounds within the viewer. So I try to create a dialogue.
What do you see the role of an artist in a larger society that we have?
It's becoming very evident today. The artist's role is really getting to be a very well-recognized and dynamic force in society. My art is an environmental art, and it resounds within what is happening to the earth. And it's very important to me to remind people of nature, their experiences in nature, and how it resounds within them. I'm trying to make that connection with my work. And, there's political art. Well, this is political. It's very important to think about the environment.
What was your proudest moment as an artist in your career so far?
Well, I've had some major solo shows in major spaces in Manhattan. And one was at Citicorp Center. I had large-scale work over 2 floors of their gallery space. And it was very exciting. And they put a poster, a 9 by 7 foot poster on the corner of Lexington Avenue and 53rd Street, showing my work and my name and the title of the exhibit. And at one point, Obama passed by in a motorcade, of course, but it was exciting to see him pass by.
That's incredible. Oh my God. Yeah.
And I had also a major installation at another corporate space. It was the Citicorp building is the landmark building on 53rd and Lexington. And this was another corporate exhibit at Tower 49, T49 Gallery, and it was designed as a gallery space. It had 25-foot granite walls, and I had 85 feet of space. And I created work specifically for that space. So I had 5 by 8 foot paintings and an 8 by 8 foot painting. And I did that all in 6 months.
Wow, that's a lot.
And, yeah, they had a whole team of installers, and it was like being in a major museum. It was very professional, and they wrapped everything and carried it out and had a separate day for actually putting it on the wall. And I was there kind of supervising in a way. And people would come up and tell me how beautiful the work was. So I was very thrilled at that installation as well. And also I had another highlight was at the Museum of Modern Art, PS1. And I was in a show called the Wild Art Show, curated by Faith Ringgold. So that was very thrilling to be in a museum.
If people viewing your art could only take away one thing with them, what do you think you'd like them to take away?
Oh, that's a very difficult question, and I'm not sure I can answer that properly. It's if the work resounds within them and they feel that I'm capturing something that they felt while they were in nature, and the experience of being there, and sort of the satisfaction of looking at a piece of art that satisfies them. That would satisfy me.
Can you tell us a little behind the scenes, like what kind of pieces are you working on right now, and where else can we see any of your other work other than Alfa Art Gallery?
Okay, I have this work. I just think I'm finished with it. This is based on my walk and the series Down Trees. I tried to get the dynamic feeling of the situation. You see a little bit of the neighbor. I've called it neighborhood because you see a little bit of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's my latest.
Oh, okay, that's really cool.
Thank you. And this is behind me is my painting Echo, and that was based on the water plant ecosystem series that I did.
Okay.
And that is reflections on a pond of the world around it. Mm-hmm. And it reflects the sky as well. And my themes on my work are based on basically where I've been, where I've visited, what I've experienced, and I try to relate that to the viewer.
Okay.
And I've also, studied at Pratt Institute and Queens College. I got my BFA at Pratt Institute and my MS at Queens College. And I've studied with the famous Jacob Lawrence, and he encouraged my work. And also Eric Fischl in a master workshop, and Jerome Witkin also in a master workshop.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm active in art organizations, several women's art organizations like the Women's Caucus for Art, mm-hmm. and I'm also part of their international caucus. And I had a video made, I was part of a video on women's voices. It's basically about women's voices. And that was about, so I had 7 of my works plus a voiceover making a statement about the environment and the importance of water. And I did a whole series of water plant ecosystems. Mm-hmm. So it tied into that very nicely. So I've done things, based on my artist residencies, like Alicia series, humans and the relationship to each other and in the environment. And I've done series of hide and seek, children playing under the trees, a whole series of charcoal drawings. And so I explore different themes, kind of concentrating on each one as I go along. I have some work online in the online show at the Long Island City Artist Gallery, LIC Artists, LICARTISTS.org. Mm-hmm. And also I'm in an Alfa Gallery, of course.
Exactly. If any of you guys would like to learn more about Space Between or Helene's work, you can check, got her websites right there, and Alfa Art Gallery will also be down there too. Helaine, thank you so much for talking with me today, taking the time, and hopefully you keep making some great work for us.
Oh, thank you very much.